Hi everyone, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. So I don't know when you will watch this video, but I'm very happy na you will because as always, Eduk students know me very well that whenever we have this kind of video, we do have a lot of activities afterwards. So we'll be having some things that we will be submitting this week. So meron tayong mga for submission in for my English and Filipino majors, you'll be having your first ever again. You're now a practice teacher, so you'll be very busy with it for this week, I assume. And it was well coordinated by your advisors naman, so supervisors rather, so no worries. And as for the research in hotel and management, sorry kasi I know that although uh, we have a lot of meetings, especially for 3C, I believe we haven't met. And then we have a seminar, so hindi rin tayo nag-meet for the other research. So now, be prepared because on August 30, we'll be having a whole day seminar. This is organized by the HM students who will, for the Filipino and English, will be joining their seminar. So we will have some activities during the seminar, and we will also be asking you to submit some activities po. So, yung paggagawa ng ating mga uh, magto-talk. And in addition to that, your recitation will also be counted. So whenever you recite with Sir Kevin, Ma'am Avi, or Ma'am Dr. Niet, I mean Doc Avi and Dr. Niet, you'll be having a recitation points. So it's very important that you recite. But of course, you need to submit a screenshot of your recitation or kung kayo ay nag-open mic. So, kasama po yun sa activity natin. And your attendance as well. So, I want you to have a screenshots of all the speakers. So each speakers, teka, lilista ko din, no? So, we have the activities you'll be submitting, recitation, but make sure you have a screenshot. Yes. Make sure you have a screenshot. Activities as well. Yung mga activities na papagawa nila for the workshop, it's also mandated that you will be submitting it as well. And each speakers, I want you to have a screenshot with a beginning, middle, end. So we have three. So yun, isang yung tatlong yun. And that will all be graded and part of the activity. So hindi pwede na wala. Each speaker. So we have three. So tatlong beses sila. Okay. So what else? So I still think meron na. Now, I know some of you na discuss na natin yung chapter 1, but we may go back to different chapters as well. So may go back. Kasi sa English and Filipino, we do have the chapters 1, 2, and 3. We haven't pa pala. Wala pa kami. So, dire-diretsahin na natin. Okay? So, let's begin. The first chapter, of course, in every research is the chapter 1, the problem and its background. So, what are the contents of the chapter 1? So, basically, research we do have some research activities po. So, we do have the 5 chapters, the basic chapters of a research. So, we have chapter 1, chapter 2, 3, and 4, and 5. So, we also have IMRAD, but IMRAD is a concise or the summarized version of the chapter 1, 2, 3 as well. So, pare-pareho lang naman din siya. So, now, the background of the study, this states the preliminary information about the research topic, including why the need to carry out a study. So the background, of course, it's very important that we know why there's a need to carry out a study. Bakit nga ba natin kailangan na magkaroon ng study na ito? So we do have our reasons. Papasok yan dun sa SDG, mga problema natin. If you're in the industry, what are the things that you need to do sa industry? So if you are in education, so what are the things that there's a gap, there's a problem in our study. So the theoretical framework discusses the relevant theories to be used in the study. They provide the overall blueprint of the conduct of research. So maybe if with the word itself, the blueprint, siya yung pinaka, pag nabasa mo yung study, it's more on the diagrams that will have what will happen in general. So from start to finish. So theoretical. And theories are very important in different in the study. So importante po yung theories na yan kasi theories ay it's backed up by a lot of research na. Hindi lang naman ngayon. Conceptual framework provides an explanation of how the concepts drawn from an exhaustive literature review are connected to each other. So usually, this will help us to understand how other research, sabi nga dito, exhaustive literature review. So all of the research that we have gathered, why are they connected or interconnected with each other? Well, the significance of the study provides an explanation of how stakeholders are likely to benefit from the study. Recommend policy and practice should be informed by the section. Now, usually, after ng research, ano ginagawa natin? Now, after a research, ang ginagawa natin ay tapos na. Diba? Yun yung lagi natin Tapos na kami dito, we're already done. And it's already finished. Present namin sa panel, and then tapos na. But, for me, I'm sorry, we will have another activity after you finish your research. One, I want you to go back to the stakeholders. So, ilalagay niyo siya as attachment sa inyong study. For example, meron kayong study about sa hotel for HM, Hotel. Ngayon, dun sa study na yon, you will go back to the hotel and present your results. If pwede kayo mag-meeting and you could recommend something, pwede yun after na ng defense ninyo. So, meron kayong another na gagawin. Pupunta kayo doon. Doon naman tayo sa Filipino and English. If you did something na doon sa school or sa community or sa anything about language, I want you to go back there and present your results to them. So, I want you to give me after na ma-defend siya, after na makapagpasa kayo ng mga pinapakuha ng panel and approve na ito sa panel, dun nyo siya kukunin. Now, ang isa sa gusto ko din pong sabihin, ang hirap lang sa part ng HM ay medyo tight ang schedule Kasi isang buo silang lesson, dapat meron na kayong study ngayon, maandar na kayo. Whereas si English and Filipino, next year pa sila. So, mahaba-haba pa yung oras nila. Yun nga lang, wala sila sa school ngayon. Kasi yun lang problema nila. Now, if you will have, for example, if you will have a product, wag muna po natin siyang dadalhin sa pagpapa-copyright. Okay? Wala muna pong may copyright. Baka po ma-advisean kayo na ipa-copyright na ito. Huwag muna po siyang ipapa-copyright. Hayaan muna po natin na ang panel po ang mag-decide if it is already for copyright. Nakakahiya po kasi kapag dinedefend niyo tapos hindi naman pala approve sa panel. It happens so many times and it causes problems with the panel. Bakit nyo pa kami kailangan gumawa na kayo ng activity ninyo? So, make sure po na ganon. Kahit na i-advise kayo ng kung sino man ay hindi po pwede. Tapos po, ipaparecord po natin ito sa RMO. Only your advisor must be present kapag po nagpa-copyright tayo. Okay? Again, only your advisor ang kasama po dito, walang ibang tao. I already asked kung nagtanong na ako sa RMO niyan about the copyright and dapat daw advisor lang ang kasama. And meron kayong agreement, especially if you will publish it, dadaan natin siya sa legal process para hindi po kayo magamit ng mga iba't ibang mga tao, no? Baka mamaya may mga kung ano-ano lumapit sa inyo at mag-advise ng kung ano-ano. ay mali-mali po ang mangyari at kayo po ang mahirapan sa bandang huli. Pangalawa po ito, if for example you'll be having an output, this is for both HM and English and Filipino, I will be requesting a copy to be donated sa ating library. Okay? Kunwari po, mayroon po tayong mga research po na tinatawag o yung mga output natin. Kunwari, nagkaroon tayo ng module, nagkaroon tayo ng infographics. Ito po ay ito-donate. Magdo-donate po tayo sa library so that we could use it for accreditation purposes and it could also be used by students like you, future researchers like you. For example po, ang nakita nyo ay infographics. Ipopost po natin siya sa campus. So for example, ang nakita nyo, meron tayo na gusto nyo i-infographic tong part na to, ganto, ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. Pwede natin siya ipa-tarpaulin and then i-post natin sa campus. We'll be asking Ma'am Marita Parobrob na mailagay siya sa library as well, sa student lounge, kung saan siya pwede, so that your research will be useful sa community. We could also use that, for example, mayroon po tayong brochure. Siyempre po, bibigyan po natin ng brochure ang school, kung sa hotel, which is pre-approved by the management, or kung sa school man, the school na pwede po ba itong ipamigay bago nyo i-reproduce. So, everything will be given back to the community. At kung kunwari man, for example, meron yata, hindi ko lang sure, pero parang mayroong tourism, may tourism part po na baka pwede natin ma-donate din sa Bulacan. Okay, so we'll be looking forward for these things. And magtatanong din po ako, although medyo magastos lang din sa part talaga ng estudyante ninyo, na kung pwede tayo maglagay sa e-library. So, para lahat ay mabigyan ng copy ng mga activities natin, para hindi siya masayang. Yun kasi po ang natin ayoko po na after 5 years, ma-disregard lang yung study or hindi nyo siya magamit in the future. So, for the statement of the problem, it states the general specific problems of the study. The general problem, for instance, should reflect the study's title. It serves as the starting point for constructing the research instrument. So, for example po, when we discuss, usually the title, of course, must be related to the statement of the problem. And while the significance of the study, I think it's lists all the stakeholders who are likely to benefit from the study's outcomes. There's the scope and the limitation of study, sets what is only covered in the study of the boundaries of the studied or the scope, as well as the choices that you impose in your study. The limitations can also include the discussion of the weaknesses that will be encountered in the conduct of the study. So for example po na, ito lang, for example, what you want is this number of persons, but that yung scope nyo talaga. Like, for example, all women in this company, this is what you want, but it's not allowed. So, only few lang kasi hirap na hirap kayo talaga na ma-produce yung amount na yun. So, yun. Hypothesis for quantitative studies states the assumption tested in the study, which is usually in the form of null hypothesis. So, of course, for quantitative study, usually it's either will be having a relationship, a correlation. So, pagbabanggain natin yung independent and dependent variables. And then, we will assume, based on the background of the study that we have conducted, the related studies and literature. So, pagbabangga-banggain natin lahat ng nakita natin, we will now assume that there's a significant difference. But that doesn't necessarily mean na lagi siyang ganun. Hindi siya lagi. Now, for the chapter 2 or review of the related literature and studies, this chapter discusses all concepts and results obtained from different related local and foreign studies that you have gathered and written as notes. You are expected to summarize or paraphrase all the original materials before putting them together in this chapter. You are also expected to synthesize and explain in relevance of these sources to your study. So, when we look for related studies and literature, we usually use the abstract. So, yun yung una nating binabasa. So, we'll be checking online. Pwede siya sa Google Scholar or may mga private kayo na nag-host ng mga journals. You could search for the topics that do you think it's related to your study, and then it could be international and foreign. And then while you're typing, you check the abstract. You could copy the abstract and then paste it on your related studies. And so for the literature, the books that you might be using. Now, for the tricky part, you need to summarize this study that you have. Syempre, that's not the current study. As for the abstract, it is in the tense na present siya eh. So, siya yung current study. But, of course, since you're just putting them together, para kayong nananahi. So, paano pong parang nananahi? So, parang nananahi in a sense na you're putting together the things na magkakasunod sila dapat. For example, lahat ng mga positive, lahat ng mga pare-pareho, a-arrange niyo siya na lahat ng mga the same na mga study 1, 2, kunwari, study 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, lahat sila the same. So, first paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph, fourth paragraph, and fifth paragraph. Ngayon, kailangan para kayong nagbabasa, when you write a research, para kayong nagbabasa na kung ma-feel nung nagbabasa na dire-diretso siya, that you're quoting different, you are stating some problems in different contexts or different places. Like for example, sa language fluency nito, naniniwala tong si author, let's say Crespo 2015 that this scenario is positive based on this place nila, based on the study they have conducted. Whereas, ito naman si author na to also agrees kasi they have the same scenario na malapit doon. Pero ito naman yung ginamit niyang study. To isunod naman, ito naman yung ginamit, but the same, hanggang sa matapos. Now, if for example, may author na sumalungat, hindi ibig sabihin hindi natin siya kukunin kasi we also need to get that because it's we also want to check if meron din palang study that is not positive to what we're looking for. So what we could do is we could search other things that is also negative or have different answers, and then we could quote it. However, in this research, hindi naman. So, as this one, this one. Now, for the synthesis level naman, pagsasama-samahin na siya. Yung kunwari, nakasampu kayong paragraph. May 5 positive, may 5 negative. Now, gagawin niyo siya, isang sentence lang siya, isang paragraph lang siya. So, you will combine all researchers na ano ba yung pinaka-gist nilang lahat? Ito. Okay, so yun. Tapos, i-quote mo all of the authors. They have the same. And you need to be very careful with the related studies and literature that you have because you will be using that sa chapter 4 and 5. So, chapter 4. Ayan, sa chapter 4, gagamitin nyo siya. Kaya kailangan i-quote nyo rin siya. Now, research design explains the specific methods that you will be using in your study. Kung quali or quanti ba siya, no? Population and sample of the study gives a thorough description, profile characteristics of the respondents, participant of the study. So, lahat kung ilan. Okay, and it will also give the characteristics kung ano-ano ba sila, sino ba sila. But of course, you cannot reveal significant information that will allow them to be known. Baka mamaya medyo negative yung statements nila, negative yung answer, and it will only cause problem pa. Sampling design explains how the respondents or term used for quantitative studies, especially those employing survey method, or participants term used for qualitative, especially using focus group discussion for also extent. So, explains how those respondents are named. So, yun. Now, chapter 4, the presentation, analysis, and interpretation of data. So, this chapter presents all the data collecting using the research instrument. For example, questionnaire, guide, interview guide, ganon. So, the data are presented in tables, charts, or figures, usually tables, yan. Analysis and interpretation of all presented data must be included. So, sa analysis and interpretation, kasama na dito yung related studies or literature. So, for example, you've presented this data. Sa ibang study daw, makikita tong ganito, the same. Ayan. So, it was also important to discuss your study findings by going back to your review of related literature of this chapter. So, we also have, after that, for the chapter 5 naman, the summary, conclusion, and recommendation is a summary of findings. You summarize all the results or findings stated in chapter 4. This section should directly answer each of the problem raised in the statement of the problem section. Whereas the conclusion provides final judgment on the findings, and they should address each of the statement research problems as a way to prove or justify the assumptions raised earlier in the research. I-conclude mo na siya. After you conclude, here are some other parts. We have the title page, in which consists of the titles of the thesis, name of the academic program, names of the researcher, and the submission date. So, usually yung date naman, hindi naman kasama yung date. A day. So, month and year lang. Acknowledgements provides the researchers with an opportunity to thank all individuals to give their assistance and support. So, you don't need to thank your boyfriend. So, boyfriend yung isa pala kayo ng boyfriend, no? Hindi naman. You could thank your family, but make it professional. Do not put a lot of detail na rin. Kasi, baka mamaya tigitigisang paragraph pa kayo. So, you don't need naman na to put them all together. You don't need that. So, make it professional. And if you would like to thank everyone, make your own book. Gumawa ka na sarili mong libro na fiction. Tas, sulat mo para ito sa ganito, ganyan, ganyan. So, you don't need that. Table of contents includes a list of all of the thesis, yan, with corresponding pages. So, all the parts of the thesis. We also have the list of tables and figures. It includes the list of all the tables and figures of the study, hence the name. References, list all the sources. So, meron tayong APA format. So, we are in the APA 7 or Psychological Association. Ayan, so APA. Appendices naman contains all the additional documents. Kaya kailangan yung letter, wag nyong po siyang iwawala. Okay? Wag nyong iwawala. Lahat ng letter na gagamitin nyo will be put in the appendices. Now, the research writing process, usually, meron na tayo yan kanina. Choose a topic, collect background information, organize information and citations, evaluate information, and write research question, write draft, edit, correct, and revise, and last one is write final draft and cited references. So now we are in the ethics in research. Understanding and addressing ethical issues according to Polonsky and Waller in 2011. So I want you to read this, and later I want you to answer this on your yellow pad. So I'll be asking some questions, and please, you will answer this on your yellow pad. Okay, so you could just pause the video or go back since I'll be uploading this excerpt, everything as well naman. So now, I want you to answer this question. So you read the excerpt kanina and then answer this question. How did the researchers observe ethical principles in conducting their study? 2. Follow-up question, why is it important to always observe ethical principles in conducting a research? If I already asked you to have this one, just submit your yellow pad na lang din. So, if ma'am, napagawa niyo na po sa amin yan, it's okay since you still have your yellow pads with you. Okay? Yeah. So, you could pause this video. na lang. Now, importance of research ethics. So, there are ethical research foundations sa atin. 1, participant protection, integrity of findings, credibility of research. So what is protection of the participants? It ensures the safety and rights of research participants. Make sure that they feel that they are secured, it is a safe space, and especially if medyo mabigat yung research that you have, baka po mamaya medyo hindi siya okay, parang hindi maganda yung dating mo doon sa research, and it will only cause problems, and please make sure that they feel that it is a safe space. Integrity of findings, maintain an honesty and accuracy in research results. Ako baka mamaya, okay, parang hindi significant difference yung nangyari sa akin. Parang walang significance. Lagot ako nito, baka mamaya pangit yung maging implication sa akin. Ibahin ko nga. Ganon. So, wag ganon. So, kahit na hindi siya, there's no relationship, ganon talaga, you need to proceed. Minsan, ang ginagawa natin, pag kunwari, lumabas na no relationship, minsan, hindi naman binabago, pero dinadagdagan yung respondents. Minsan, nangyari na ganun. Like, for example, 100 lang yung nila. Ang ginawa nila, so parang ang konti, tapos no significant relationship. So, what they did is, instead na baguhin or idoktor lahat, ang ginawa nila, dinagdagan nila, ginawa nilang 200. So, nung naging 200, lumaki yung numbers, nag-iba, gumalaw. So, nagkaroon ng relationship. I think, nagtanong ako niyan kay Sir Mark. Sabi ko, Sir Mark, ano po ba yung magandang number na dun sa isang quantitative research na parang yun ang target? Sabi niya, maganda daw ang 200. Kasi pag daw 100, minsan alangan. Nagkakapare-pareho ng sagot, which is, nagiging yung study, hindi siya masyadong, hindi naman sa hindi reliable, but mas daw niya yung mas marami. Ayun. So, the credibility of research, upholding the trustworthiness and reliability of research. Tandaan natin, sa academic community, diba, sa atin, uso na ngayon ang mga corrupt at sinungaling. But, in an academic community, it's also important that you have your credibility. Kailangan kayo talaga yung gumawa ng research ninyo, hindi kayo nagpagawa sa iba, and then, kinangkin nyo. Or, no proper attributions, yon hindi pwede yon. Or, dinaya nyo lang, ChatGPT nyo, which is no problem. ChatGPT is a good tool. It really is very helpful. But, dun mo lang inasa, wala ka palang interview, nag-produce ka lang para lang maganda yung data ninyo at mag-best in research ka. That's a no-no. Okay? Now, there's a risk for the researchers. Even with good intentions, we always have a good intentions for research because we would like to solve some current issues, prevailing issues. But, good intentions, harm may occur pa din naman. One is communication style with participants. Baka mamaya, yung communication style mo is medyo offensive o parang mukha kang nambabastos pag babae yung usually pag ganun. Or maybe the way you talk, kaya nga dapat papasok ka pa lang dun sa venue, the way you ask permission as well, ayan, dapat maayos. For example, sa akin, there was a time na may isang ibang school na lumapit sa akin. Tapos ang sabi niya, Ma'am, magko-conduct po kami ng study. Okay, sige, bukas kasi yung wala kasi yung mga eduk students today. Baka naman bukas ko na lang siya, bukas i-update kita kasi wala po yung Sabi sa akin ng paano po yun? Pasahan na po namin bukas. Ay ko, bakit pakialam ko sa'yo. Kaya gusto ko sabihin sa kanya yun. Kasi, as a researcher, it's your fault kung bakit hindi ka agad kung bakit hindi mo maipapasa yung work. And you cannot give your that burden to your participant. Sabi ko, iniisip ko, anong gagawin ko? Papapasukin ko yung mga eduk students, wala naman silang pasok para sa research nyo, na kayo naman ang nagkamali. Kasi, hindi kayo pumunta dito ng mas maaga. A week sana, kasi hindi naman laging available lahat ng mga tao, di ba? So, next is the nature of questions and research topic. Maybe some research are very sensitive. And it's not easy to ask. I was watching a while ago the video of Liza Soberano. And the way she was interviewed, she was reassured that everything is all right. And the way we ask our questions din sa communication style again, baka kasi mamaya, di ba, you're asking them na parang, naiiyak na, naiiyak po. Kasi po ganun, sabi mo, pakibilis, kasi nagmamadali ako eh. Mga ganun, no? Yung naiiyak yung tao, pero kinontra mo. Sabi niya, pwede po ba straight to the point na lang? Kasi marami po kami itatranscribe pag marami po kayong dinagdag. So, syempre, hindi niyo dapat ginagawa yung mga ganun. So, also the questions, baka mamaya sobrang sensitive siya. It was placed very sensitive. And, for example, sa gender lang, diba? Male or female. Although hindi na siya tinatanong unless it's very related. Tapos tinatanong, no, you're not male, sir. Mukha naman pong member kayo ng LGBT community. So, kailam doon. Kahit anong ako, if that's what I want, you don't care about it, diba? So, the nature of your questions are very important. Now, there are different, diba, types of harm. So, we have psychological harm, use of obscene or offensive images sa survey. Baka mamaya, ang mga pictures na nyo, hindi naman related. Sabi, bakit ganyan? May picture ng babaeng para po motivating. Pero hindi naman yun yung study, di ba? So you're not allowed to put those kind of pictures. We also have financial harm, studying unethical workplace behaviors. Nako, baka mamaya tinanong nyo yung mga nararamdaman ng hotel staff sa kanyang management, tas ang dami niyang sinabi, nakakabuisit, masama ganito, ganyan. Ayun, ang nangyari naman ay natanggal siya sa trabaho, di ba? Or baka naman kunwari, tinanong mo, parang ang sasama ng pagkain. Dito sa it was based on research, overpriced tong food na to, tapos hindi fresh yung mga niluluto nila, napupulot lang nila kung saan-saan yung niluluto nila. Tapos nagsara yung shop, 'di ba? So kasalanan mo kasi pinublish mo. That's why we don't publish sa panel, alam ng panel kung sino yung didiscusan mo. But for publication purposes, hindi mo siya ilalagay. Social harm, ayan, revealing someone's sexual orientation without consent. So for example, your discussion is about gender orientation, tapos kung nakahanap ka ng mga hindi pa closet, yung closet sila, parang okay, umamin siya sa'yo, pero wala pang nakakaalam na ganon, and then you revealed it to everyone, ay si pala, ay ganito, ganyan, ganyan. So they're not yet ready, and sabi nga sa God, hindi natin siya kailangan sabihin hindi natin kailangan pilitin ng isang tao about their gender. Kung ayaw pa nilang sabihin, kung they're not yet ready, even if you could see that they are what you think they are, wala tayong pakialam doon. So, hindi natin siya pwedeng sabihin na, ganito, ganyan ka. So, we're not allowed to do that. How to prevent harm in research? Of course, we need to plan carefully. We need to protect confidentiality, we need to inform consent, and avoid sensitive questions. So extend protection not only to the participants, but also to the researchers and, of course, in the institution involved in the study. Now, there are different components of ethics in research based on De Jong, Hibben, Pendel 26, Siegel 2019, and Singh 2012. So ano nga ba yun? So there are different ethical foundations. We need to have truthfulness to emphasize the importance of honesty and accuracy in the research findings. Courtesy highlights the need for respectful and professional interactions with the participant. Papunta ka pa lang dun sa place, kailangan di ka mayabang. Sabi mo, ako nga po pala ay taga Bulacan State University. So kami po yung maraming matataas po kami. So we cannot do that. Hindi ko lang pakialam yung tao sa atin eh. Anong pakialam ko? Kahit sang lupalop ka pa. Okay. Diba? So, respect for persons, focus on treating individuals and autonomous and protecting their rights. Kahit na gustong-gusto mo nang makuha yung study mo, pero naiinis ka sa kanila kasi hindi pinabalik-balik ka, pagod na talaga. Pero ikaw kasi yung may kailangan. So, you need to be very respectful for them. Beneficence stresses the importance of minimizing harm and maximizing the benefits of research. As much as possible, when you need to trial run your study, baka po mamaya, hindi pala siya okay. Okay? So, parang, marami ka lang magiging problema dun sa study na ginawa mo. And justice, of course, ensure that everything is fair and treated equally, equitable distribution, and problema sa burdens. Now, let's have a scenario in the workplace. So, this is for HM and English majors. So, background, a group of Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English students and Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management students collaborate in the research project. Their topic is the effect of multilingual communication skills on guest satisfaction in a 4-star hotel in Manila. So, ethics and action sample. So, truth, they collect authentic data from employees and guests. They avoid altering surveys to make the results look better. They ensure that all references are cited properly to avoid plagiarism. For courtesy, they send formal letter to hotel manager and they greet the staff during interviews and respect their work schedules. So sila yung nag-antay doon, hindi sila yung busy po kami, babalik pa po kami dito, tiga Manila, tiga Bulacan pa po kasi kami. Bakit kasi sa Manila kayo nag-conduct ng study? Ayaw mo palang magbalik-balik, di ba? Now, respect for persons, they inform the participants about the purpose of the study and how their data will be used. They give each participant a consent form to sign before taking part. They allow respondents to skip any questions they feel uncomfortable. Kunwari, ayoko pong sagutin yung tanong nyo kasi medyo baka matanggal ako sa trabaho eh. Diyos ko, yun lang naman eh. Bakit ka naman matatanggal? Diba? Hindi pwede gano'n. Beneficence, they design survey questions that will not embarrass or offend respondents. They avoid asking personal, financial, or family details unrelated to the research. Justice, they ensure that all departments in the hotel have an equal chance to participate if they are needed in the study. So, syempre naman ng mga Filipino major, di tayo mawawala dyan. So, isang grupo naman mag-aral sa Bachelor ng Secondary Education major in Filipino ang nagsawa ng pananaliksik na may pamagat na epekto ng kahaliling wika sa pag-unawa ng mga mag-aaral sa panitikang Pilipino. Layunin nilang tuklasin kung paano nakaapekto ang paggamit ng Filipino sa regional na wika sa pagkatuto ng mga mag-aaral sa senior high sa isang papublikong paaralan sa Laguna. Sabi nila, ayoko na sa Bulacan, pang Laguna naman ako. So, sa katotohanan, sinisiguradong lahat ng datos ay tumpak at hindi peke. Okay? Of course, i-avoid nila ang plagiarism. Pagiging courtesy, so nagkaroon, of course, the same. Nag-submit sila ng official na liham at maayos ang kanilang pakikitungo. So, pagpasok, pati yung boses nila, maayos din. So, magandang umaga po. Kami po ay galing sa Bulacan State University, Meneses Campus. Kami po ay magko-conduct ng study po dito sa inyong paaralan. So, yung boses na, carefully, hindi tayo. Yung mga mata, yan, hindi dapat gumaganon. Okay, yan. So, paggalang sa tao, so pinaliwanag nila yung kanilang layunin, nagbigay sila ng pahintulot, the same. Okay lang din na tumanggi yung mga ayaw magbigay ng study. So, kabutihan, beneficence, tiniyak nila walang tanong na nakakasakit, the same. So, katarungan, binigyan nila ng pagkakataon na yung mga mag-aaral na mag-participate. So, meron silang galing sa STEM, galing sa UMS, galing sa ABM, so may mga ganun sila. Okay, so at least naiintindihan na natin ngayon. Now, research ethics in data collection. Ang apat na importante dito is the anonymity, confidentiality, privacy, and informed consent. So, when we say anonymity, do not collect personal identifiers such as name, address, contact info, or ID numbers. Mami, ay, pogi yung pogi yung isang respondent. Pwede po bang mahingi ang Facebook nyo? I-add lang naman kita. Baka naman may Grindr ka, di ba? Friend tayo, follow, chat tayo. para pag may tanong ka sa study namin. Di ba ganun? Hindi pwede. So, demographics like age and gender may be collected, but must be combined so individuals are not identified. So, hanggat maaari, hindi natin alam yung kung sino sila. Violation. So, kunwari, nag-survey ka, tapos yung ID number alam mo. So, nakikita nila. Sino nga ba si number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Okay, di ba? Confidentiality or definition of context, protecting identifiable informations. Alam nyo, hindi kayo pwedeng magtanong minsan ng birthday. Kunyari, ano bang birthday, no? Diba? Madalas tayo na ganun kasi kala natin yung birthday basta-basta lang. But for some, they don't want to reveal their birthdays. And not just because they don't want to reveal their age. Minsan kasi, diba yun yung password din nila, diba? Or they just don't like any information to be revealed in the public po. So, sample data ulit tayo. So, dagdag pala dun sa kanina, we also have rules and limitations. Do not collect personal identifiers. Confidentiality. So, yeah. Now, sample. Collecting data without identifying. So, a group of BSHM students wants to know customer satisfaction with the hotel buffet service. They distribute an online survey that only asks for ratings, general respondent's name, email, or contact details are not included. The responses cannot be traced back to any specific person. So, they accidentally ask for the reservation number. Eh, bakit? Eh, di na-identify na sila. Sino sila, diba? So, next is confidentiality scenario. A BSed English student interviews their former high school teachers about classroom challenges. The researcher personally knows them but replaces their name ng teacher A, teacher B. So, para walang ma-quote. But, nakalimutan nila sa appendix nila na tanggalin yung pangalan ng teacher. So, violation siya. Another one is privacy scenario. An HRM student is doing a case and study work-life balance for hotel front desk employees. One participant chooses not to answer the question about their marital status. And the researcher sabi niya, go. But the violation example that might happen is the researcher insists the participant answer personal questions or collect answers. Okay, for example, ako, ayokong sabihin yung marital status ko. Let's say I'm married. So, hindi ko sinabi sa'yo. But instead of, okay lang po, walang problema. Pero chinek mo sa social media, ay married pala siya. Ikaw mismo chinek mo. So, it's not good. Informed consent. So, before conducting focus group discussion on sustainable restaurant practices, a group of Filipino students provides each participant with an informed consent. Ngayon, okay siya. So, voluntary siya. Pero, pwede siya pag kunwari, you're collecting data without their consent. So, isa yun. Now, we have another one. So, a group of Bachelor of Sex Science and Hospitality Management is conducting a study entitled Customer Satisfaction on Eco-Friendly Practices of Hotel XYZ. Wait lang. Okay, so wait muna natin to. Ay, shucks. Hindi pala pwede. For a while. Ayaw niyang mag-back. Sorry. I think we have already discussed this one naman anyway. Okay, so some of the words, eto na lang tayo sa example. So, sample natin for language education and Filipino majors. So, scenario, a BSed Filipino student conducts an interview with their own classmates about experiences with online learning during the pandemic. Even though the researcher knows the participants personally, they use pseudonyms. So, with participant A, person B in the final research paper and do not disclose any names or identifying details. So, for HRM naman, an HRM student interviews wait staff from the partner restaurant about workplace, including unfair schedule. Now, the researcher ensures responses are written without mentioning the name of the employee and the position. So, yun. Dapat ganun yung gagawin natin. Para safe, pareho tayo. Now, for your yellow pad, we will also answer this. You can just pause it if Okay, so page 93 siya. So, page 93. Answer it in your yellow pad. Just put A, B, C, or D. So, pause nyo na lang. This is a self-reflection as well. So, pwede siya na, wag nyo siyang, instead of just writing the answers, parang you just check yourself. Did I understand? Okay, so pause na lang. Next, 3 and 4. So, 5 items. (93 to 95). And last number. Ayan. Okay, so let's have your answer. You could check your answers. Okay? D, D, A, D, A. So I hope na naka-5 kayo. And if not, it's okay as well. As long as maybe the lesson is fast, so you could read it in your own na lang. Now, lesson 5. What is a research problem? Isa sa tanong, what is a research problem? Ano nga ba yung research na yan? So, according to Kerlinger in 1986, a research problem is an interrogative sentence or statement that asks what relation exists between two or more variables. So, involves two or more variables. So, Frenkel, Wallen, 2009, said that the exact issue to be addressed in inquiry investigation. Without it, according to Creswell, readers won't know why the study is important. So it could be a guide in the direction, so for controversies, areas of confidences, difficulties, conditions, and questions. So yun ang meaning ng research problem. Now, let us now identify your research problem and its background. Why do we need to identify a research problem? Because it serves as a starting point of any research. It guides the direction of your study. It helps determine the scope, methods, and relevance of your work. It ensures your research addresses a real gap in knowledge and practice. And there are two main steps in identifying research problems. So point out a broad area of research problem. You need to explore specific areas of your topic not yet fully addressed by previous studies. So, in your study, you will be asked to, I think in your study, typically, you will be asked to conduct a study and then, while looking for a topic, you will think, ano nga ba yung, halos lahat ng study, ito yung mga lagi nilang kinukuha. O, ito. Now, what makes my study different from other study? So, doon tayo papasok. Ano yung mga hindi masyadong chine-check? Now, understand and study the problem more deeply. An example of that is a practical research problem. So, based on real-life situations needing improvement. So, your goal is improve practice in daily life or work, enhancing teaching strategies for language fluency, or improving hotel check-in process. So, yung practical, ibig sabihin, nagagawa para makakatulong siya agad sa tao in a very practical at ngayon na siya. And you could see it right now. There's a chance na may elevate yung problema natin. Whereas we also have theoretical research problem focuses on expanding knowledge and understanding. It could address disagreements in theories, unexplored phenomena, recurring unanswered questions. So for example, kung kanina yung check-out, check-in, and language fluency, whereas ang sample naman nito, investigating how bilingualism affects cognitive flexibility, analyzing evolving customer satisfaction theories in hospitality. Sa Filipino naman, pagsasagawa ng mga epektibong pamamaraan sa pagtuturo ng ortografiyang Filipino sa senior high school, or pwede rin naman na pagpapabuti ng pagproseso ng pagkuha ng datos para sa mga komunidad na gumagamit ng katutubong wika. Yung pangalawa naman is understanding and study the problem even more. So, objective nito is to gain deeper insights in your chosen research problem. So, there are two important aspects to consider. Aspect number 1 is a background and context review, the existing related to your problem. Assess what has been done and what is missing. So aspect 2 is specify relevance and narrow down your focus. So now, for another activity that you will have for your yellow pad on page 104, I want you to think of your title. So write down your title. I want you to write down your title, your own research title or topic kung wala pang title. And then answer this, the population. What is the population of the study? Who will be studied? The setting. Where will the study take place? The scope. How broad or narrow will it be? The limitations. Intentional, excluded, or the limitations. And of course, establish the significance of the study. Why does it matter? So I want you to answer this aspect number 2 on your yellow pad. Okay, nakalagay ito sa yellow pad. Now, we will have a sample, practical, and research problem sample. So you could read it on your own. So hindi ko na siya babasahin sa inyo. You could read it. So later, tatanggalin ko naman tong bilog-bilog na to. Okay. So, now let's have your next activity sa yellow pad. So, 1 to 5 again. Page 106. 106 to 107. 5 items. Write your answer on your yellow pad. Okay. Let's have the next one. Okay, so check your answers. In elements of research. Now, there are 5 elements of research. 1, topic. It pertains to the subject area that requires further examination or investigation. 2, purpose. It refers to the reason indicating why there is still a need to conduct a study about the topic. 3, setting. It pertains to the study's period or time frame and place where it will be carried out. 4, individuals. Refer to the research respondents or participants who will be part of the study. And 5, audience. Refers to the people who are likely benefit from your study. With these elements of research, I also want you to put this on your yellow paper. So page 109, the elements of research. And I want you to use your study. So 1 to 5 siya. Okay? So please put it in a yellow paper na kasama ng mga papel ninyo ngayon. Sunod lang, 1 to 5. So that I want you to identify your own research topic as well. Okay? So it's already 53 minutes. So I'll be stopping this one for a short break para din po ibang video na yung susunod. Okay? I'll be stopping this one and exporting this. See you sa part 2.